Ever wondered why some Harvard graduates become tech legends and others end up in prison? In my 13 years as a software engineer, I had the chance to interview students from elite American colleges, and what I discovered blew up my mind. In this video, I'm going to expose the secret that makes Harvard students successful and show you how to leverage it to boost your career in tech. To start, let's address the elephant in the room. Are Harvard students really smarter than the rest of us? Back in 2022, my company opened an office in Palo Alto, California. If you have never heard of it, Palo Alto is the birthplace of Silicon Valley. This is where Hewlett-Packard was born, and to this day, startup founders still travel to the famous HP garage like pilgrims travel to Mecca. The job market was fierce, and my company had big expansion plans, but we couldn't find talented software engineers, so we decided to hire interns instead. We offered them a great pay, around $8,000 per month, and hoped the best ones would stay with us after their internship. This year, I interviewed freshmen from elite universities like Harvard, MIT, Stanford, as well as students from public American colleges. And here is what surprised me the most. The Harvard freshmen weren't smarter than others. In fact, students from public colleges were super motivated to work with us. Whenever we extended an internship offer to Harvard or MIT freshmen, they always rejected it. Why? Because they had competing offers from tech giants like Amazon, Google, and Netflix. Meanwhile, freshmen from public American colleges didn't even get the chance to interview at these companies. And this taught me something crucial. Success isn't about talent or intelligence, it's about perception. Harvard freshmen aren't winning because they are smarter. They are winning because the world perceives them as winners from the start. If you are starting from a less privileged position, you will have to work hard to just reach their starting line. So, what's the best way to get ahead in life? Build a network. You will need to get into the right rooms as early as possible. Meet people who can open doors and help you grow your career. Attend local meetups or industry events. Anywhere where you can find the right people. And remember, you must do it offline. Life-changing opportunities don't come from cold DMs or LinkedIn comments. They come from real face-to-face conversations. When you meet someone in person, you just bypass the noise. You stand out, you become memorable, and that credibility, it's just powerful. But it's not the whole story. There is one other hidden factor, one that is far more dangerous and often leads to their destruction. It's called the God complex. Did you know that around 67% of Harvard students aren't there because they are extraordinary, but because their parents were successful? Harvard's tuition alone is about $60,000 per semester, and that's just the beginning. Housing, food, travel, living expenses quickly add up, meaning only wealthy families can afford to send their kids to Harvard. Only 4.5% of Harvard students come from low-income families. They have a chance to get there thanks to scholarships and financial aid, but they are the exception, not the rule. But still, the wealth alone doesn't give you the God complex, right? Elite universities host visits from billionaire founders and even politicians. Maybe you have seen the legendary commencement speech by Steve Jobs. I think it was at Stanford, if I recall correctly. For Ivy League students, seeing the most successful people in the world casually walking around the campus is just normal. This constant exposure makes them believe they are special and capable of anything. It pushes them to take extraordinary risks, launch startups, and chase big ideas. Often it works out, but sometimes it goes horribly wrong. Take Elizabeth Holmes, founder of Theranos, or SBF, founder of FTX, as example. Both attended elite American universities and believed they were the chosen ones. They thought the rules didn't apply to them and they could get away with anything until they faced criminal charges. So what's the most important lesson here? A lot of people at the top didn't get there by merit. In fact, I would say half of them are pretty mediocre. They had the opportunity and they took their shot. That's your takeaway. Apply for that ambitious job, start your startup, and ask for that promotion. Don't wait until you feel ready, because people at the top, they weren't ready either. But they didn't hesitate to try, and that's the only advantage they had. But that's not the only thing elite students learn long before the rest of us. They learn how to play politics. After you started your career, you quickly realize that promotions aren't handed out based on effort. You probably have seen it yourself. That manager who got the role because he is a director's buddy or someone's cousin. Elite students learn this much earlier than the rest of us. Let me share you a quick story. A friend of mine studied at LSE, one of the best economic universities in Europe. During his studies, he was paired up on a project with a wealthy Russian student. They weren't friends, they were just randomly chosen. The Russian guy didn't care at all, so my friend completed the entire project alone. He considered reporting him, but at the end he didn't. They got the top marks and he let it slide. After 2 years, my friend launched his first startup and he was looking for funding. Guess who he called? Yes, that same Russian guy. One phone call later, he secured £500,000 investment. So what is the lesson here? Sometimes injustice pays off, but later on. Life isn't always fair, and going after justice in the short term doesn't always help you in the long run. If he reported the guy, nothing would have changed for him. He would still have done work alone, and he would have burned a bridge. Instead, he swallowed his pride and kept the door open. But don't get me wrong, I don't mean that you should be fake and manipulate others. It just means that sometimes you have to give up the battle to win the war. If you made it this far, I have a big favor to ask. I never ask you to like my videos or subscribe because I believe if you like my content, you will do it anyways. But lately, my videos have started getting more views, yet I don't see as many comments. So if you learn something new, please share your thoughts in the comments or simply leave a train emoji as a signal for the YouTube algorithm that this video brings value. And if you're hungry for more, I've got something special for you. In this video, I will share brutally honest career advice for software engineers. I extracted everything I learned while growing an AI startup to $1.4 billion in valuation in short 2 years. So if you find it interesting, I will see you there. Click on the video now.